He's an author of the book called The Man with Zero Talent, in which the author takes you on a journey of self-discovery, filling your mind with inspiring stories, scientific realities, and key techniques for developing and manifesting your highest self. He's also a founder of a meditation app, LUVO. And like other meditation apps, LUVO incorporates the concept of vibrational frequency that aligns with that of the user. In this episode, we discuss how to set goals and live out your passion without any specific talents. Thank you for being on the show, Sanjib. I'd like to start off the show with a bit of your personal history, who you are, where you grew up, and what were your early years were like.
Thank you, Jay. So my name is Sanjib Nandi, and I was born and brought up in India. And I lived almost all my childhood in India. And I finished my pharmacy schooling in 2000. So after finishing my pharmacy schooling, I worked there for a couple of years. And I was looking for a better opportunity that led me to move to United Kingdom in 2002. And I lived and worked there for 5 years. And after working there for 5 years, I came to United States in 2008. And I have been living here and working as a pharmacist.
And you are now an author of the book called A Man with Zero Talent. Can you explain the listeners what your book is about and what can they learn from the book?
Yes, so I wrote my first book in 2021, The Man with Zero Talent. And, I will take you back a little bit, why did I write this book? Because from 2013 to 2016, I was struggling in my life because of the circumstances beyond my control. And I don't know what to do. I was filled with pain, fear, anger, resentment. And each passing day, I was drowning more and more. And I was thinking somebody, something, or at least God will help me. And I was in that situation for, close to 3 years. And each passing day, I was thinking more and more. And, by 2016, I was at the rock bottom. And I knew that, I have to do something to come out of this negative emotion. And then I started, working on myself. Because, my mind was pulled in different directions, or you can say my mind was so restless that it was not able to enjoy this life. So, I started working on, my mental health as well as physical health, as I came from Eastern culture where meditation has been used to calm this restless mind. I started doing meditation. And, eventually, I started doing walking, which eventually led to, running my half marathon and full marathon. So, it took me 2 or 3 years to learn how to transform oneself and reinvent, myself. That led me to the journey of writing this book, because I thought there are so many people who are struggling in this life and they don't know, how to reinvent themselves, so that people can have an easy path to self-discovery. If somebody is struggling in their life, it can be any reasons. It can be financial reasons, it can be health reason, it can be because of, divorce or any kind of reasons. When they are struggling in their life, they don't know, how to move forward. This book is about, how to come out from negativity to positivity. And once somebody has come out of positivity, how to become a better version of yourself. So this book has been, taught about, meditation, exercise, cold showers, about healthy eating, because, our body and mind are not two separate entities. They are, interrelated. So, how we can eat healthy and, influence our mind at the same time. So coming from the science background, as I'm a pharmacist, I have done a lot of research about, how does our brain works? How can we change this hardware in the brain? Because to change is to change your brain. If I say you, Jay, can you think positive from tomorrow? It's very hard to think positive.
Yeah. Agree.
But when you have a procedure or routine and you know the scientific explanation that there is a way you can change your brain physically, chemically, then only change is possible. So, in this book, I have written a detailed explanation what happens to the mind when you do meditation, what happens, when you do exercise, what happens, when you do, eat healthy eating, and how you can become better and lead, be a role model in your life so that, people can get inspiration from your life.
So when you were writing that, you mentioned that you went through the whole a few years of struggle, and you have actually listed those in your book as in like the steps to overcoming that. And if you were to give advice to the listeners, as in the easy step, for instance, for someone who is basically at the lowest point of your life and they don't have the motivation, or they're at that point, and what will be the next 3 steps for them to overcome that and feel at least slightly better than they were feeling before?
Yes, definitely. Like the 3 things, any person who is listening to your podcast, they can do is, the first thing is set a goal. Whatever the goal is, doesn't matter whether it's a small goal or a big goal, pick something up in your life, because when you are picking a goal or you are pursuing something, your goals or dreams, you cannot think negative. You will think positive.
Yes. Yeah.
And what will happen? You will progress in life. You will move forward. And that is what is needed when you are at the rock bottom. That how can I, see today that this is good, and how can I progress to tomorrow and day after tomorrow? And, the easiest way is to pick up a goal. And again, it is up to your own standards. Nobody is giving you the goal. You can choose anything you want. Like, when I started my journey, I picked up a goal that I wanted to become a speaker. And I did not know how I would become a speaker. But, I picked something so that it will help me, work on that goal. Because, then you find, okay, how I can become better at that. What are the tools needed to, pursue that goal? So that is the first thing, pick up a goal. Doesn't matter, how you are going to accomplish it, but having a goal always sets you in the right direction.
Yes.
The second thing is, small, consistent change over a period of time. And I have written in my book, Kaizen. It's a Japanese word, and which has been used in the manufacturing industry. Now it has been used in the self-help industry, how you can, improve yourself by doing small, consistent changes. Because, when we think that, I'm going to, do a bigger change, what happens? That, your mind is going to say, no, I'm not going to do this because it's such a huge change. Like if I say you, Jay, that you have to wake up tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and you are used to waking up at 8 o'clock, your mind will say, no, why should I wake up at 5 o'clock? But if I say you, can you wake up at 7:55? Your mind will say, oh yeah, it's piece of cake, 5 minutes. So same thing, if you wanted to, walk a block, which is easier rather than thinking, oh, I have to walk 3 miles. So do small, consistent changes, and, eventually you can improve those and do bigger things. So break the goal into small pieces, you can say. And the third thing which I can suggest is, improve your self-talk. Why? Because when you are going through any negative situation and when you are at low point in your life, you always talk negatively with yourself. So rather than, talking negative with yourself, think something positive. When you are talking positive, and you can, use like affirmation or visualization technique or mantra to improve your self-talk. Because, there is so much examples of, how people have improved by using, positive self-talk. And, Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer, he used to tell himself that he's the greatest boxer. In spite of, he was not at that point. Because our subconscious mind is more powerful than the conscious mind. When you hand over your goals and dreams to the subconscious mind, then it will find the ways so that you can achieve your goals and dreams. So again, that is very important.
Do we need to set the goal as in some way that having a vision board and some way that's visible? Then do we look at that goal? Of course, we're aiming towards it, but by, say, in terms of visualizing and looking at that every day when you wake up or something like that, do you think that will actually improve or that will actually speed up our way towards that goal?
Yes, definitely. That is going to speed up towards that goal because they are seeing it all the time. And they can, put in as many places as they want. Like they can put it in the mirror, when they are brushing their teeth. They can put, when they are driving the car. As long as they can see it, 6 or 7 times a day, that will reprogram their subconscious mind.
And when you accomplish it, then we will set another goal.
Yes, definitely. Like you can pick whatever you want in your life. Once you have accomplished, something which you want, definitely you can pick something which is bigger than what you have, previously picked up. Because, you cannot just stay in one position so that you can live a happy life. And it does not matter whether you are young or old. Even when you are 65 or 75,
you need to go.
If you are not looking forward to something,
yes,
then, there is no meaning or purpose left in the life. And it can be small thing like, I wanted to go to church every week. Then, that person is looking forward to something in his life. Oh, I wanted to see my grandson graduate. Again, it's a small thing. But, for that person, he's looking forward to something which will help him to live a happy and healthy life.
Yes, I love that because the reason why I asked that question was like, I myself is a goal setter. I like to aim towards certain things and I would write down my goals and then they actually happened, but then I would write another goal. But then sometimes, and you question yourself, you're like, oh, is it because are we not content with where we are? And then is it because human being is never enough? So it's like to the next level. It's like, it's good to set a goal because that's you're aiming towards. And also as a human being, we have to be growing and evolving all the time. We just don't stay stagnant. Because once you reach the goal, you're like, oh, okay, so this is what I was aiming for, but now I'm at that level, then I need something to look forward to. So we have to aim another set of goals.
Yes. And, to give you a good example, whether you have heard about Michael Phelps, he's the greatest, swimmer in the world. So, he has won, I think, 26 or 27 gold medal in Olympics. And the day he won his gold medal, the next day he was depressed. Why? Because, he has accomplished what he wanted to do. Now his main worry was, what should I do tomorrow? Because he has learned swimming. He used to practice 8 or 10 hours a day. Now, when you think, okay, I'm going to retire, now the question arises to him, what I'm going to do tomorrow? Because he has to, keep himself occupied. You can go for a vacation for a few days, like 10 days, 15 days, month or 2 months. After that, in spite of you having, ample of money, you still have to do something in your life. You cannot just sit idle and eat,
That's right. Yeah, agree. Yeah. And that's why people always say, oh, that's a good question to ask to everyone. Like, what would you do if you won $1 million, like lottery? And some people would say, oh, just travel the world or just don't do anything. But then as human being, we need to be doing something, as in we need a mission or something to work towards. Otherwise, it's meaningless.
Yes, definitely true. Because you can see the example of so many, lottery winners. They have won millions of dollars. They don't have to work a single day. But you see 95% of the lottery winners, they are broke within 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And, if you read the articles, they will say, it would have been better for them if they would not have won the lottery because it has made their life much more miserable.
And I want to talk about your app. So now you're the founder of your meditation app called LUVO. Can you explain to the listener the motivation behind creating the app?
Yes. So LUVO, it's a health and wellness app, and it's an extension of my book. And I wanted to reach to larger audience. So that's the reason I thought about, creating an app. And this app is available in Google and App Play Store. And I will not say that it's a meditation app. It has taken a holistic approach to life because, we have, different sections in the app. We have meditation as one section. And again, this meditation is different from other apps because we have used vibrational frequency. So we have audio frequency as well as vibrational frequency. If a user keeps the phone in the palm of the hand, they will get the vibrational frequency, which is going to change the brain waves. So it's a different kind of concept, and people can definitely try it. And what we say that it enhances your meditation.
Wow.
The second part which we have included in the app is exercise, as I definitely believe that, we human beings are born to walk. Like our ancestors, they used to walk for 10 or 12 miles every single day. But nowadays, we don't walk or do any kind of exercise. And, exercise is something which definitely improve your cognitive abilities. So, this app is going to, measure the number of steps you take, distance traveled, and number of calories burnt. And you can connect your smartwatch like Apple Watch, Google Fit, or Fitbit, or Garmin Watch to the app so that you can get all the data from that watch to this app. And the third thing which we have included is the water intake. As definitely United States, I don't know about the Australia climate, but we drink very less water in cold countries. So if we drink less water, what happens? It can lead to anxiety or depression. Why? Because our body is made up of 70% of water. Wow. Our body as well as brain. So when you get dehydrated, the chances of depression, anxiety is more. So this app is going to remind you that you can, you have to drink water every 2 or 3 hours. Then we have a sleep analysis, like, we have issues sleeping. So this app is going to tell you how much time you are awake, your light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. Again, you can connect your smartwatch to get all these data in the app. Then, we have live meditation, yoga, talks about healthy eating. So these are live session which happens every day. Like, one day there will be a live session for meditation. The next day it will be yoga. The third day is healthy eating. So we are giving this live session so that people can, join these live sessions and be a part of a community. Because, people feel so much, like disengaged, that they are so busy in their life, they are not able to have a community, because having a community gives them a self-worth that, I'm included in this community,
Yes.
which gives them a feeling of, worthiness. So we are trying to build that in that app by, having these live session. And at the same time, they will learn about, meditation. They will learn about, how to do yoga, and they will learn about their, body and how to eat healthy. Then we have gratitude, section where you can, write about what you are grateful for. So this app is giving a section to you. Okay, tell us a few things you are grateful for today.
Yeah. And since you mentioned about, so the money shouldn't be the main motivation, and I know building an app, like say this, it costs a lot, right? So there's a lot of like, you have to pay for the cloud, database, and everything. But in terms of your app, like a LUVO, what is the model like? Is it a subscription base, or how can the listeners utilize this app, like in order to unlock those features that you just mentioned?
Right now, it's a free app.
Wow.
So anybody can download it from Google Play Store or App Play Store. There is no charge. There is no subscription. So you are getting all the benefits free of the cost. And by the way, before I forget it, if any listeners wanted to download the free book, The Man with Zero Talent, if they download the app, they can get the link to download the free book, from that app also. So they don't have to buy it. So as I mentioned, my main goal is to make something which, remains in this world, which is helpful to the users.
Yeah.
And definitely I wanted to, make this app, self-sustainable, so that, I don't have to put the money from my own pocket. So what I'm implementing is ads, like Google ads. So the users who are, using the app, they will see the ads. The end user doesn't have to pay anything, but I will generate some kind of revenue so that the app is sustainable by itself. So that is the whole, model or the business model, you can say.
Yeah, so the freemium.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. I love that. I know we're running out of time. I'd like to, before I wrap up the show, I'd like to end it with 3 questions. So the first one is share me one truth about you that you stand by.
I stand by that, I'm a giver. And I think I have inherited it from my dad. He was a giver. And when I was young, I was never able to understand it. Why he has to give his money or his time to somebody else when we need it so much more. But I was young at that time and I was not able to relate it. Now, as I have gone, older, or I'm more mature, I know the importance of giving. And I think, it is kind of ingrained in my system. I have inherited it from my dad. So I'm a giver. I have, tried to help my friends, my family, whoever I know. If they are in need of something, I'm more than willing to give them, in spite of, I am not having that thing. So, I'm kind of, ingrained, a giver who is trying to help other human beings.
I love that. And what does it mean to you to live a conscious lifestyle?
For me, to live a conscious life, it means to live a life which is responsible, to live a life which, I believe in. Because if I don't believe in something, it becomes so harder to live a conscious life. And I wanted to do something which is to value to the community, to this world. So that brings, a true sense of fulfillment and happiness in my life.
And the final question is, what impact do you want to leave on this world?
The impact which I wanted to leave is, that no human being is born talented, that any human being can learn or acquire the talents and become, good at any skills. And, the best example is about myself. I have written a book, The Man with Zero Talent, and, I did not have any specific talent. And if I'm able to write my own book, build an app, and I'm able to, write music and do different things, sky is the limit for anybody else. And, I wanted to leave a legacy so that, people can see that if this human being can do it, we can do much better than him.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That's very inspiring.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted.